Hi, this is not Joseph Fink, not creator of Welcome to Night Vale, and this is not Welcome to Night Vale. This is a fan production, made because we love Night Vale. If you like our show, you should go listen to The Real Thing. It's much better than ours, and you can find links below if you haven't listened to it already. They put out the show entirely for free, so if you like it and want to help them out, consider donating to Welcome to Night Vale. They are great people making a great show. But if you're hearing this and wish to continue listening to what could be a small, wasted chunk of your apathetic life backdropped by the vibrant tears of dying stars, then hey, thanks.
To any children listening to this, remember, none of it's real. Neither are you. Neither am I. But color is. Color is alive. We are its dolls. Color is playing with its food. Welcome to Night Vale. It is a slow, overcast day today. The sky is gray, the morning fog has dissipated, and our streets are quieter than usual. Perhaps this is because time is slower today. Perhaps that looming feeling of divine shadow just outside the color spectra, the one that we wake to each morning, has finally made its move. Or perhaps this absence of activity on our streets is a result of the overcast. I do not remember the last time the sky was completely veiled by slate sunless gloom above our town, but I, for one, listeners, welcome this rare humidity to the weazened desert. The desert we slug through each day, tongues drying, parched, waiting for the water to come through unseen pipes from somewhere beyond an arenaceous sand plain, which we are told again and again does not go on forever. Yes, this overcast is most welcome. Welcome, beautiful murk above us. Come gently, do not take offense at our plea, but please, come gently. Release not the abounding weight you hold over us. Come gently, pass well. Go as water does down a geminal brook in autumn chill. Welcome, overcast day. And now today's news. In regards to the recent drought, officials from the Night Vale Water Company have spoken to the media about their efforts to create new water reserves. A spokesperson from inside the chain-link fence of an electrical transformer on the edge of town at 1:30 this morning was quoted as saying,
"The reservoirs are emptying and they are not filling back up again. The aqueducts have stopped flowing too. Surveyors from the water company are looking into these blockages with help from the city council. However, other forms of water summoning are being looked into."
Then, the shadows between the leaves of a nearby cypress tree said nothing. They said all they needed to say. Nothing. The darkness in the early morning grew blacker. There was no sound, none but that of shadows in between the cypress leaves. It was like, all at once, the small desert city had never existed, its people still sleeping, but eyes open, and the reporters out there on the edge of town at 1:30 this morning saw the full sky. Every star of every color capable of being seen from Earth shone. All the lights of the town fell out of existence for vast moments, uncountable time, and then, suddenly, had never been gone at all. The town went back to sleep. The spokesperson continued.
"We have prayed to the stars and seen their lines in 5 dimensions. have prayed to the gods of wet filaments in the void. We have prayed to dark water. We have prayed to the gods and heard no answer.
His body contorted as 3,000 volts of energy surged through him, as he was inside an electrical transformer. He concluded the statement with silence and perfect stillness on the cement floor. He still lies there now. More on the drought as we all slowly die from thirst. There is something in the sky, listeners. Reports have been coming in from all over town of something moving in the clouds. It's true. I see it too, through the station window. Large bodies of space are shifting overhead. Bulbous figures that swim as if in a vertical tunnel. Countless oblong shapes swimming upward, headed into the overcast expanse. The sound they make is loud, like silent thunder. It seems the gloomy sky is screaming nothing at us. Oh. The Sheriff's secret police have just prompted me to issue a warning. They say to stay inside and avoid watching the sky or acknowledging the matte gray entities in the matte gray clouds. The secret police say that the matte gray of the things in the sky is the same matte gray as the sky, so we can't see them. But we all know they're there. The secret police have written here on a miniature replica of the lighthouse of Alexandria that they are handling the situation. In other news, the world, cosmic, multiversal, and local governments have issued a recall on certain types of garbage disposals. If your garbage disposal is working, the letter addressed to this radio station said, "Do not look down it." Forget you ever heard this message. Put your curiosity away. Do not look down your drain if your garbage disposal is working. If it works, do not test it. If you cannot tell if your garbage disposal works without testing it, remember the gray stone maze behind the theater walls. The one you dreamed of seeing in a moonlight, where there was no moon or stars. Just night sky and the gray stone labyrinth behind the theater walls. Remember the answers you never received, and then reverse engineer that absence of knowledge from the gray stone maze behind the theater walls, and you will know if your garbage disposal works. If it works, do not look down your drain. You will not like what you will find. If your garbage disposal does not work, turn off your water. Go without water in your home until your water suddenly begins working again. The faucets will turn on by themselves. They will begin to overflow. They will flood your home, taking all the priceless mementos you store in your basement that could have meant something if only the memories could be recalled. You will lose your house, and your insurance will not cover it. But thank the femur entities you did not look down your drain, because that would have been really bad. Not just for you. For the free will of all undivine beings. You didn't look down your drain, right? Today, the Night Vale Commercial Psychics opened a new branch in Flores Plaza. The Commercial Psychics commemorated their new retail location's opening with a divination circle. As they gathered in the break room and canting over the wide stone basin, manager Laura Masts received a vision. This vision, she said, foretold the financial failure of the new location. This led to a subsequent closure just hours later, and left the organization in sizable debt. So much for that business venture. Irrelevantly, If you are interested in renting an empty space in Flores Plaza for retail use, knock 4 times on the empty door of the empty space within the empty lot. Turn around and do not look back. Because it is empty. A completely empty space. There is no color, no matter, no door, no existence, no inexistence, no feelings to describe, no undescription, no space or lack of space, no emptiness but the word empty, printed on the sign outside Flores Plaza, on the street which is not empty. But if you want empty, or at least something similar that was perhaps misbranded on the hastily made for sale sign, you know where to look, and what to do. 4 times. Anything else to cover? The Night Vale Birdwatching Club has sent out an open invitation to all citizens for a badminton tournament they are hosting this Friday. We won't hurt you, they said. We won't hurt you, they said again. We won't hurt you, they repeated. Anything else to cover? The Sheriff's Secret Police have just declared a state of emergency, adding that we are under siege from the sky, and that this is all the water company's fault. Let's see. And this concludes today's news. Now for the good stuff. It's theater season! Last night, I attended opening night of Night Vale Community Players' latest production, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I must say, the thespians of Night Vale Community Players have really outdone themselves this time. I recommend it to anyone, obviously. It's a classic, one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's best musicals. The production opens with a Greek chorus chanting of the hidden fire and fish within a primordial chaos, backdropped as it was in the original production by a 15-minute scene depicting historically accurate slave labor and floggings in ancient Egypt. A truly grand opening number, crescendoed with the song Any Dream Will Do, sung by Joseph, as portrayed by Night Vale's own Tommy Succulus. Tommy Succulus is the single greatest actress, in my opinion, to come out of the Night Vale Community Players' living flesh womb. Listeners, I simply cannot give due justice to this theatrical feat. Do not miss your chance to witness it. Tickets are $15 or £3 of fresh meat from any exotic bird. The musical runs September 21st back to September 3rd of the same year. I've been in a literary mood this last week, listeners. In fact, I've already read, then promptly unread, as reading is strictly illegal and revolting, a book. It was a copy of the American Northwest Tree Glossary. I found it in the station closet last Tuesday, next to a pine cone that was brown and shaped like a cone. The glossy pages told of trees. So many trees. The American Northwest is full of trees, like the...
Fall is here. Bodies have been dropping from unseeable heights. Cats have been meowing at high speeds. The cats are breaking traffic laws. Pumpkins, tiny pumpkins, are breeding in the night. Drop your body at a store. Fall into Walmart.
What a great book. Who knew the Tree of Immortality was so easy to find? And now for a new segment. I give you the word of the day. Today's word: atmosphere. Noun. Definition: breathe in, breathe out. Remember all the times you have done this. Recognize you do not remember all the times you have done this. You have always done this. What are you breathing? The atmosphere. An invisible force that we seep through every day, that keeps us on the only world we may ever know. The world that we may never truly know. The world we will never know fully, or perhaps at all. Perhaps we have never known it. Who can say? I don't know. More specifically, you do not know. We have never known. All we know is that there is something happening around us that keeps us separate from the void. The endless absence that separates nothing from nothing. Are we something? Is this world even here, or are we a dream of the void, a figment of the totality of emptiness, so it might reason between what is itself and what is not? And in discerning this, it finds that it is everything. It dreams of other things, us, but in the end we are the sum of nothing. There is no thing separating us from it. There is no atmosphere. There is nothing. But we'd like to think there is, wouldn't we? This has been the word of the day. The secret police have mobilized their leaf blower unit in town square to engage the soundless sky. They have attempted to communicate with the potentially hostile moving forms in the overcast that no one can see, but we all know are there, before opening fire. So far, there has been no response from the unseen bodies. No response other than the deafening screaming. The soundless screaming we cannot hear. I'm on the phone with Mayor Dana Cardinal, who is down at the square watching this standoff. Hello, Dana.
Hello, Cecil.
Can you describe what is happening in the square?
Yes. The secret police have gathered 4 squadrons and taken positions pointing leaf blowers 90 degrees up at the sky. They have taken a pentagon formation, each facing outward from the center. There, Sheriff Sam stands on a small stool with a megaphone, also pointing 90 degrees upward. They are attempting to question the mountainous gray shapes. Now threatening them. Now questioning again. Now they're just screaming. Oh, they're questioning again now. I've been trying to tell them we should be communicating peacefully with these forces we cannot see. But each time I try, Sheriff Sam sounds the megaphone siren until I stop talking. Then they continue shouting.
What are they saying?
The sheriff is reciting the Night Vale legislature, I think. I don't know. As they're talking in 20 different languages, as well as 8 forbidden and lost languages to elicit any response from the sky. I think it's the same speech. Each time they switch languages, they repeat the same intonation, the same facial expressions, gestures in the same order. And when they begin speaking in modern language, I can catch a few sentences and words. So again, I think they're reciting the Night Vale law, but I can't be sure.
And how's your day going, Dana?
Wonderfully, Cecil. Thank you for asking.
As mayor, can you give us, the citizens of Night Vale, any new information or reassurance?
No.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Dana.
Of course. Cecil, before I go, could you take us off the radio for a moment? I've been meaning to talk to you.
Sure. What about?
I have become something I am not, Cecil. They have changed me. I never wanted to be this way. I never asked for this. I never imagined that this self, out of all the future selves I considered possible when I was little, would ever exist. And, Cecil, I don't think I can go back. I must live with what I have become, whether good or bad, until whatever other future self replaces the self that I am now. I hate the self I am now. I just wanted to tell you that. But also that I will try with all that I am, with all they have made me into, to do what is right.
Dana, I don't understand. What are you talking about? Who did what to you?
I have become a bird. Wait. Something is happening. The secret police have opened fire! I need to go!
Dana? Dana! We'll be back soon, listeners. I need to go see what's going on. In the meantime, here's the weather forecast.
trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a-blowin' reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a tooty-lad, a tooty blows it eight to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes a company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. And when he plays boogie-woogie bugle, he was busy as a bzzz bee. And when he plays, he makes the company jump eight to the bar. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Do-do-do-do-da-da, do-da-da, do-do, he blows it eight to the bar. He can't blow a note if the bass and guitar isn't with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Sleep with boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays. When someone gives him a beat, he really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Sheriff Sam shouted into the sky. Their police task force held their positions, awaiting order or sign of danger. German words echoed off the surrounding buildings, originating from the center of Town Square, where Sam continued their warning to the gloomy sky. Nearby, Mayor Cardinal talked into her cell phone. A block away, onlookers, from behind the secret police's secret barricades, made small talk, sipping coffee and other warm black liquids. A wind blew through Town Square, placid and foretelling. The force with which it came increased. It was a strong wind now. Then, the sky was in motion, come alive with a sudden wail of an explosion. Indiscernible shapes breached into one another and thrashed in the sky, invisibly, yet somehow registering outside of vision. An intense gust of wind. The sheriff stopped. The gust rose to a gale. The police primed their weapons. The overcast shapes suddenly were descending. Civilians scattered for cover. Sheriff Sam screamed into their megaphone. The leaf blowers opened fire, only adding to the force of the wind. Mayor Dana ran into the line of fire. The writhing sky shapes plummeted. The wind picked with the force of a hurricane. They had landed. Screaming in the town square was joined by the rattling of every window in Night Vale. I ran toward the square and groped for a handhold before I was blown away. The secret police clung to one another in the square, now yelling in chorus with the whole town. Roofs blew off buildings. Children who believed they could fly did, but did not return. The entire pit of community pet remains was swallowed into the sky. Your consciousness had detached in the storm. You blew and became a settler in those far-off hills or islands you've seen silhouetted in paintings. Your dreams, for an instant of an instant, became impersonal, with no passion or love or desire or longing or happiness or wish of death. Just apathy in the universe of a far-back world. You felt there was nothing and overcast. And then, a shift in the back of the navel. Something had changed. The wind died in an instant. There was still yelling in town square, but it too stopped a moment later. It was the feeling of embarrassment, like talking loudly over music that had turned off a second before. The secret police exchanged uncomfortable eye contact and, realizing their leaf blowers were still on, turned them off. As their engines died, the usual ambience of sunset in the desert revealed itself, but it was changed. The almost overwhelming toxic floral scents were absent, replaced with petrichor. The high-pitched wailing of the sun could not be heard. There was silence in the interval between ears adjusting to a new volume level and hearing. But once adjusted, there was indeed sound. The light sprinkling of rainfall. I stood in town square. The secret police force also stood, for once placid. The oblongs in the sky were gone and had no doubt succeeded, their unstoppable barrage of much-needed water. And the secret police had failed. Without a word, without a sound but rain and silence, onlookers turned to walk home without umbrellas. The secret police deconstructed their barricades, and Sheriff Sam watched them leave, still holding their megaphone, still standing on their footstool, still watching the clouds with vain skepticism. They would get no answers to the many questions that could not be put into words. I imagine they have given up their post by now. I had to return to the station. As I turned to go, a bird flew overhead toward City Hall. And now, here I am, back at the station. Here we all are, listeners. This long drought is over. The first storm in years. The gods of wet filaments have answered our prayers. Stay tuned next for sound, uninterrupted sleep. Good night, Night Vale. Good night.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Night Vale Presents. As you know, this is not Welcome to Night Vale, and is a production of some other people. It was written by Evelyn Rogers and Zach Hesmer, and is produced by Evelyn Rogers and Colin Harmon. The voice of Cecil Palmer was Zach Hesmer. The voice of Dana Cardinal was Evelyn Rogers. Original music by Colin Harmon, and of course, the Night Vale theme was created by Disparition. Find Disparition at disparition.info and Colin Harmon at 9voltrobot on tumblr.com. The weather was Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy by the Andrew Sisters. Again, check out the real Welcome to Night Vale at welcometonightvale.com for more information and nifty merchandise. Today's proverb: squids can be people too. They just need your house keys and your clothes. Why don't you be the squid for once? Trust us, you deserve the break.